Hi, this is Benjamin from ThoughtCast Magic, and I'm here to introduce you to the brand new version of Calculon, Calculon V2. This new version brings a much needed update to the app, as well as some new features you are going to love. Some of these new features are part of a Pro Pack, which is designed for magicians who want to take their performance to the next level. So if you see this symbol, you'll know that is a Pro Pack feature. Now, without any further ado, let's take a look at the new features in Calculon V2. Let's talk about the first feature and something that's really important to a lot of Calculon users, and that is Bluetooth pairing. Now, in previous versions of Calculon, the connection between your phone and the spectator's phone was made via the cloud. However, that cloud's physical location is in North America. So as we learned performing this trick overseas a few times during 2022, the further you are away from North America, the slower that connection is because it has to go from wherever you're at to North America, in fact, to Seattle, Washington specifically, and back. And if you're in China, you can't access the server at all because that server is owned by Google. So we fixed this and added a new feature that is called Bluetooth pairing. And it's pretty much what you think it is. There isn't much to see since we have really good internet here, but I just want to show you what it looks like. So when you open performance mode, normally you'll see this icon at the very top. It looks like a cloud. That means we're currently in cloud mode only. So to switch to Bluetooth, you just have to go back to the settings and you just have to tap on the Bluetooth transfer on button. Oops, like so. When you do, it'll ask you for Bluetooth permission, obviously, and then it'll ask you to update your NFC and QR code. So all you have to do is go back to the show generate code and then tap write code to NFC and then tap your NFC tag to the code. And this is because the URL actually tells the app clip that Bluetooth is on, so that way it connects faster. So now if we go back to performance mode, you'll notice it looks almost the same, except here we have the icon for Bluetooth, which is this little radio wave icon. So that's how you can tell if you're in Bluetooth mode versus if you are in regular cloud mode. Now, there's a second way to tell if you're connected via Bluetooth, and that is via the bottom code icon. And I'll show you what that looks like. So let's launch the calculator on our spectator's phone, which is this phone here. And as you notice, when you first do this on your spectator's phone, you want to make sure to do it with the phone away from the spectator's view because it's going to ask you for Bluetooth permission. But once you say okay, it will connect and it will pair via Bluetooth. And you'll notice the code at the bottom turns this light blue color. That means we are paired, obviously, via Bluetooth. So the communication will go pretty much real time. It might take just half a second or a second to go across, but it won't take 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds or longer to communicate. It will go almost immediately. Okay, now we're going to talk about two things at once. One being customizable number order, and the second being more peak options. Now, originally with Calculon, if you wanted to peek at a zip code or if you wanted to peek at a birthday, you would have to put them in a specific order. So if you wanted the zip code and the birthday, the zip code had to come first, and then the birthday had to come second, and the birthday had to go month, day, year, or day, month, year. However, with Calculon V2, we've changed all of that. Now we have an option called Setup Entry Order. And what this means is that you can customize what numbers are put into the calculator as they're being combined, okay? So obviously, as you know, the orange buttons, the plus, minus, times, and divide, are the buttons that tell Calculon that the number in the field is the first number and we're moving to the next number. So the way you set that up is you tap Setup Entry Order. You get this screen. That's normally, when you get it, it'll look blank, but to add a new entry, you just tap on the plus button at the bottom, and it adds a new entry just like so. Now, every entry by default is set to None Ignore, so that way you can have numbers entered into the calculator that are just not remembered at all. Now, you'll see them in the history of the calculation, but you won't actually see it in the peak screen, which is fine. So let's say we're going to set this up for the original setup, which is zip code and then birthday. When you tap on None Ignore, you can see all of the different options you get now for as far as number order. You get the birthday, day, month, year, you get a zip code, you get the area code, and you get additional number groups. So this way, if you have a phone number that has 3 or 4 different number groups, you can put in each one as a separate group. In America, our phone numbers are area code first, then the first 3 digits, and then the last 4 digits. So that's how that's set up. We also have a PIN code, phone passcode, and we have a lottery number system as well. So you can ask people to put in numbers that they would pick for a lottery, and then once it's done, it will show you the entire combination. Lastly, you can add a custom field. So you can make this anything you want it to be, and you can name it anything you want it to be. So let's say we're going to do this for the old version of Calculon. We do zip code first, like so, then we hit plus. We'll do the birthday month, because we're here in America, so we do month first, and then plus, we'll go to day, plus, then we'll go to year, and then just so you can see what it looks like, we'll go to custom, and you can name this value whatever you want. So we're going to call this lucky number, like so. Okay, and when you're done, you hit save at the top, and this will save everything not only to your device, but it'll also save it to your profile in the cloud. So should you ever lose the app, lose your phone, or delete the app, you won't have to put all those entries in a second time. Now, when we go to performance mode, you will see all the information in performance mode here, like so. And it shows you all the information, and then the history will show up here. So now you'll see here. Now, let's say you're performing and you forget the order that you need to enter the numbers into. It's very easy to remember. All you gotta do is, and we actually add a little text down here that says touch plus drag here for swipe hints. So if you touch and drag, it will show you at the very bottom the order it needs to be entered into. So we want the zip code first, birthday month, birthday day, birthday year, and lucky number last. And then if you let go, it goes away. Same with the peak on this screen. Now, a little thing that we changed, a little tweak we made, is the equal button will show you the instructions, like so. But the other 4 buttons will show you all the peak information. So if you touch and drag off of the plus, it will show you the peak information. If you look at the bottom, you can see here, it will also show you the order. So you can just use that as your reference. And then if you let go, it goes away. So if we're doing zip code, I'll do 34221, and then I'll hit plus, and you can see it's loading up Palmetto, Florida, and it's loading the distance, which is 2,575 miles. And something else that Calculon will do as well is it will give you the drive time. So this is 1 day, 13 hours, and 17 minutes. So if you ask Siri how long it will take to drive to a city, this is the value it should give you back via Siri. You can also set this to show you just hours and minutes, because that's something that's shown in the Siri menu when you ask Siri how long the drive is. Then we'll hit plus, we'll put in the birthday. So let's do 9 plus 15 plus, let's just say 85, okay? And then we'll press equals, or you could press any of these buttons, and it will do all your birthday calculation just like the original version of Calculon. And then lastly, if you ask them for a lucky number, we'll hit plus. Let's say their lucky number is 7. And then they press equals, and that lucky number is saved right there. Now, you'll also notice something else, is that in the column here where the history is, if you remember in the previous version of Calculon, every time the spectator hit clear on their phone, it would clear everything, including the history. Now we have it set up where you get to decide when it clears. Now, for the sake of simplicity for you, it will automatically clear when you reconnect the spectator's phone. So when you perform for a new spectator and you use their phone, when their phone connects, it will automatically clear everything out. And that also helps us, because if there's data in here and then you're adding in new data, it messes everything up. So it's best to start fresh. However, during the performance, you'll notice the history here, and obviously the newest are at the top. When the spectator presses equals, you'll see the equals number has these little equal symbols next to it. So that shows you the number that's shown to the spectator when they press equals. And then the rest of the calculations just sort of keep going up like so. This is also all available in the peak. So if I go to peak here, you can see here's the entire history as well. And you can see all the history values here. Next, we have the force auto disable and force auto advance. Now, these are things that Calculon did automatically, but a few users were asking if they could turn these on and off. And with Calculon version 2, you can. So if you go to the force number options, and you turn on the auto disable and auto advance. What that means is if force auto disable is on, once the force number is shown to the spectator, it will automatically turn force mode off. So if the spectator presses equals again, it will not show the force number another time. Force auto advance means if you have multiple force numbers, when the force number is shown, the next force number in the list will be loaded into the force calculator. So this way, if you're performing for a bunch of people and you need to force 3 or 4 numbers, you can turn on force auto advance and turn off auto disable. And now every time they press equals, it will automatically show the next force number. So there's no need to keep turning force mode on and off. You can just turn it on once, show your 3 or 4 force numbers, turn it off, and then everything goes back to normal. It's a small tweak, but I think it's something at least a few of you guys will be very happy that it is included in the new version of Calculon. Okay, let's talk about saving calculated information. Now, when you make your calculations, the information will come up on the screen, but let's say you want to save it to maybe peek it later and reveal it to a spectator later in your show or later during the night if you're performing walk around for a lot of different people. You can easily save and clear in Calculon. So the way you do it, first off, is you go to the settings and you want to make sure you have save and clear on controller on. And what that means by on controller is that it will save and clear on your phone. So if you're only running the spectator's phone calculator and not running Calculon on your phone, when you go to save and clear, it will just clear from their phone. But if both phones are running and they are connected simultaneously, it will save and clear on your phone. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So let's say we're performing for a spectator. I'm going to go here and you can see I have a previous session open. When I go to connect to the spectator's phone, it will automatically clear all this information when it connects, and it will show you that it cleared on your phone. To be able to save and clear is first, let's pretend like we're performing for somebody. Let's perform for just a random person. So let's put in a random zip code. Let's put in maybe 89128. Then we'll hit plus. And then let's put in some random information as far as the birthday. So we'll put in 9 and then plus, and then 16, and then plus. We'll put in 56 equals, and it will show us a few celebrities with that same birthday. And then we'll do a lucky number. So we'll hit plus, we'll put in the lucky number. Let's say the lucky number is 654 321, okay, equals, and now all the information is inside of Calculon. Now, how do I save all this information? Well, the way you save the information is the same way that you would clear it normally, and that is either double tapping on your device or touching and holding the clear button on theirs. So you can see all the peak information is here, just like so. If I let go, it goes away. And then all I have to do to save it is just double tap the screen like so. And now it is saved. You can see it says Calc Info saved at the top. So once the information is saved, how do we get at it? Well, all you have to do is go back to the settings. You're going to go down to saved calculated values. You just tap it once. And now we have our saved values. And as you can see, we performed just recently for someone. It's going to put a timestamp in each calculated value. And to get at the information, you just tap it. Now we have a little note field at the top. So we can change the note to, let's say the person we were performing for was David. So we'll put in David like so. And then all the information here at the bottom is all the information we collected during the performance. So you can see we have the drive time, we have birthday, we have the star sign, and we have our lucky number here. And let's say you want to do something with this information. Instead of you having to type in a lucky number or type in 24186, all you got to do is tap. You just tap, it'll copy it to your clipboard, and then you can go to any app you'd like and you just tap on paste like so, and it will paste that information in for you. It's just that simple. If you want to copy it all, you just tap on copy all. It'll copy everything. And now it'll paste all the information. You just paste it in, and there's everything just like so, okay? Then when you go back, you'll see it will automatically save the name of each entry, And then let's say you're done performing for the night and you want to delete everything. You just tap delete all entries. You just hit delete and it will delete everything. And now you're ready for your next show. Okay, let's talk about a new feature that everyone has asked for, and it's finally in Calculon version 2, and that feature is the date and time force. Now, this feature was left out of Calculon for a very long time, specifically, and I'm not even making this up, because I received threats from other magicians when I hinted that this was going to be put in, but now that it's in other calculator apps, we need to keep up with everybody else, so it is in ours as well. And the way you turn it on is you go into the settings and you just turn it on, just like that. You can customize some of the other options, so that way you can set the time delay, you can put the day or time first, you can even use a custom date, so this way it uses a custom date and then you can use the actual time as the time that shows up in the force. And then once you're all done, you go into performance mode, and if you swipe up, you will see that the date force is on, and it will show you the date and time that will be shown to the spectator. So if we launch the calculator on the spectator's phone, like I said, if you swipe up, it'll turn the force off. You can have the spectator do some calculations to show that it's a normal calculator, and then you turn the force on like so. And obviously today is December 8th, 2022 for the year, and it is 1:38 right now. And all I have to do is do my calculations like so. And when I press equals, it will show that number as the total, and then you can reveal it as your prediction. All right, I want to show you my favorite feature of the brand new Calculon app, Calculon version 2, and that is called target number force. Now, target number force is known in another calculator magic app as the remainder force, but the reason it wasn't in Calculon is because I couldn't come up with a great way to improve it. Okay, it's a pretty solid force as is. Now, the idea of doing it on a borrowed calculator should be improvement enough, but I wanted to push it one more step further and give magicians a better way of performing this force. Now, what's the problem with it? Well, I have two problems with it. Now, I watch a lot of magic. I go to the Magic Castle often. I watch a lot of people perform, and I've seen this trick performed a lot. And it's essentially performed the same way by everyone. And this is the problem that I have with it. The first problem is, and if you're not familiar with the remainder force, the idea is you get out your phone, you open the calculator, but it's actually the calculator, the fake calculator app that is other people make. And you ask everybody in the audience to get out their calculator. You ask for a couple random numbers from the audience and you add them in. And then the last number is a random number that you add in. And that number changes to the difference between the total that everybody has and the force number. So when everyone puts that number in that's supposedly random, everybody gets the force number. But there's two big flaws with this. The first one being that number, that last number, has to be a random number. It can't be a number someone picks consciously. It has to be random. And the second problem, and this is my biggest complaint about it, and really the biggest problem that I have with magic in general, is that when somebody finds a good way of doing something, everyone does it the exact same way. And this is a big reason why we don't put a lot of performance videos in our instructions, because we don't want all you guys doing our tricks the exact same way, because it telegraphs the method. Okay, this is like Magic 101. And that, my friends, is when the magician needs the random number. So what do? They turn the phone upside down and they ask somebody to tap the screen at random, and whatever number comes up is the number. I hate that. I hate it. Every time I see it, it just bothers me, right? So I said to myself, what if you could do the same trick? And instead of that last number being random, sight unseen, what if it could be someone's zip code? Or what if it could be someone's birthday? Or what if it could just be a random number that someone is punching in one digit at a time that they're looking at? And then everyone sees that number, they all punch it into their phones, and all the phones not only match, but they all add up to your force number. That would be an improvement. That would be a miracle. And that, my friends, is what you can do with Calculon version 2. So let me show you a demo. First thing you need to do is have a force number. So now you can do this with the time and day, but we're going to do it the old-fashioned way with a regular force number, and our force number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty simple. Second thing you need to do is you need to turn target force number on, and then you need to change the trigger to phone rotate. Now we have a variety of ways to get that total to show. And one of the ways is actually you can borrow 2 phones and have one phone be just the phone that generates the target number, and the other phone is the phone that everyone follows along with. However, that's not the thing I'm going to show you. And obviously that is going to be explained in the instructions. But what I want to show you is the phone rotate trigger. Now, here's how you would do it in performance. First thing you do, you go into performance mode, and you can see here we have all of the information about the target force. You can see it's active, that's so at the top. The mode is phone rotate. You can see number equals 6 is the number of digits in the difference. So this way you can literally look at your phone, see number equals 6, and then you can ask your spectator to punch in 6 digits at the end, okay? Obviously your force number is there, and then the difference is here. And then underneath the difference is the pre-equals total, okay? So in performance, here's what you do. You would ask, in performance, you'd ask everybody to get out their phones, open the calculator, you'd borrow an iPhone in order to demonstrate how this would look. And then whoever's phone you borrow, you ask that person to come up on stage and you ask them to stand about 2 feet behind you, about a meter behind you. And you ask the audience for some random numbers, okay? So we punch in the first random number. Let's put in 2, 3, 5, 6, 9. You hit plus, and then you put another random number, 1, 2, 4, plus, and then maybe one more you could do, 2, 5, 8, 9, 6. Okay, so now if I hit plus, we have the number 62013. So to get to our force number, we need to show 61,443. So here's how you do it. When you get to the last number, you hand the phone to the spectator on stage. Now I'm going to try and do this as best I can so you can see what's happening. It's a little difficult because the phone has to be straight up and down. So I'll tilt it at a little bit of an angle so you can see. Now, when the spectator has the phone, you either enable the force mode from their phone, you can press and hold the 7 button, or you can do it from the controller. So this way you can do it hands-free. So you could potentially have the spectator holding their phone the entire time. You have to just take it to get it set up for the Calculon part. But you turn the force on your phone, okay? So now force mode is on. Now you ask your spectator to put in any 5-digit number. Now it can be a zip code, it can be a lucky number, whatever you want, okay? Now I'm gonna put into the calculator 22222. So this way you can see the number, okay? And now, once that number is put in, now the spectator is holding the phone facing them, you tell the spectator, I want you to show everybody the number so everybody can punch it in on their phone. And when they turn the phone to show the number to the audience, it changes to the target difference. So it changes to the number that if everybody adds it into their phone, it will get you to your target force number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the best part is once everybody has that number, you say, I need everybody to press equals. Go ahead on your phone, go ahead and press equals as well. When they turn it back, it changes back. So this way you can have a number put into the phone. Obviously, when they press equals, it'll show you the force number, but you can have any number put into that phone by the spectator, a number they think they're choosing on their own, and you get this brilliant moment of dual reality. And it is worth saying at this point that this concept, although it is unique to a calculator product, it is not my idea originally. The way I knew about this was through the iOS genius Mark Kirstein and his tricks. And I actually reached out to him and he said, if this was something I invented, I would tell you not to use it, but I didn't invent it. Andy from the Jerks did. So if you want to use it, talk to him. So I sent him an email and he said, the only way you can use it is if you refer to me in your documentation as the greatest magical thinker who has ever lived. So needless to say, he is the greatest magical thinker who has ever lived. And we thank both those guys for their okay and support to give you guys the target number force mode. And that is part of the brand new version of Calculon. Okay, now here's a new feature just for you guys running iOS 16. It is the lock screen widget peak. Now, if you don't know this, in iOS 16, if you press and hold on your lock screen and you tap customize and then lock screen, you can customize some of the information on the lock screen besides the time. So there's a single line of information at the top and then a button that you can tap add widgets. So we're going to add some of the Calculon widgets to our lock screen. So to do that, we just tap on the first line, tap on Calculon widgets. It seems like nothing's happened, but it is added. And then if we go to add widgets, we'll tap Calculon, we'll tap the widget, and it adds it in just like so. Okay? Then we hit done, and it commits everything to our home screen. Now, how do you get the peak? Well, you also have to go into the settings and set what information you want to see on the home screen peak, like so. So I have it set for line 1, it'll show the current number. Line 2, it'll show the pre-equals total. And line 3, it'll show the square total. And I can change any of these by simply tapping on the number and changing the value, and then pressing done when I'm done. Okay. Now, in performance, you're going to leave your phone in your pocket with performance mode open like so. And you're going to have your spectator's phone open to the calculator, and they're going to combine the numbers any way that they like. Once they're done, all you have to do is lock your phone and then take your phone out of your pocket. As soon as you take it out, you'll see the home screen and all the information will be updated. 654, 841, and 707,281, matching the current number, the pre-equals total, and the square value of 707,281. Okay, I want to talk about a feature that you guys are going to absolutely love performing. It's called voice recognition and dictation. Now, what this means is you can say a number and Calculon will automatically put it into your spectator's phone. You can use your phone as the source for the number input or their phone. Either way will work. Now, here's how it works. Inside of the Calculon settings, there's a setting for what's called the end phrase. And the end phrase is the word that Calculon is listening for in order to stop the dictation. So let's take a look at what it looks like if I set the number from the controller itself. Now keep in mind, I'm going to say the number and I'm going to end with the word write. So that way the transcription will process and send the number to the other phone. You can change the word to any word you'd like, but by default, this word is the word write. So here's what it looks like. You're thinking of the number 8543, right? And just like that, it sends the number to your spectator's phone and sets it in the display. Okay, next is a feature for those of you guys that love performing Alice in Wonderland mode. This is going to turn your Alice in Wonderland performance up to the next level. This is called Alice mode number sync. And basically the effect is you borrow two phones and you ask your spectator for a random number. So let's just say the random number is 1, 2, 3, 4, but it can literally be any number. Now you say, watch very carefully. All I have to do is grab a digit off of your phone and just pop it onto the other phone like so. I can grab a digit like this and I can make it appear right on the phone. Okay, and you can do this for every single digit, just like that. It appears immediately. Now, the best part is you don't even have to be touching the phones either. You can make the digits vanish without even touching the phones. You can make them vanish with a wave. You can make them vanish with a shake. And once all the numbers transfer over, both phones are immediately examinable. They won't find anything funny with the calculator. Okay, next is a small feature, but a couple of people have asked about it, so I decided to put it in. This is called open on number. So when this is on, it will cause the spectator's phone's calculator to open with the specific number showing. So to turn it on, you go to settings and then scroll down to open on number and turn it on. Now you can customize the open on number value here, or you can have it open on a force number. So we set it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll go into performance mode. Even though we don't have to, it'll just happen on the spectator's phone. And then let's load it on their phone. So the fake calculator loads here, and once it loads, it'll show your value on the calculator. Okay, next is the reveal force on equal press. Now, if you remember with Calculon, if you want to force a number, as soon as you turn the force on, when the spectator presses equals, it'll show that force number. Well, with Calculon version 2, you can set the force number equal count to a number as high as 20, and Calculon will count the number of times equals gets pressed, and once it reaches that number, it will then show the force number. So the way you turn that on is in the force number settings. You go to force equals trigger count. It's set to 1 by default, and you just slide the slider up. So I'm going to set it to 3. just like so, okay? And now we'll go to performance mode. And let me open the calculator on the spectator's phone. And now that that's loaded and connected, you'll notice if you turn the force on, it'll show you not only the equal press count, but it'll show you what number of equal press is going to show the force. So let's do some calculations. So that's equal press number 1, and you can see it's showing the real value. We'll do some more calculating. And now that's equal press number 2. So now on the next press of equals, it'll show our force number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, we get our force number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here's a couple of practice mode updates. One of them is open to practice mode, and the other is change icon to calculator. So these are pretty self-explanatory. For change icon to calculator, if you turn it on, it changes the app icon to look like the calculator icon. So if you notice, our app icon is right here. It's this little green robot. If I turn on change icon to calculator, you'll see you've changed the icon. And if we go back to the home screen, you'll see it now looks like the calculator from iOS. Secondly is open to practice mode. Now, if this is on, you can obviously go to practice mode, open it up, and then close the app. But what if you forget? What if you're on the home screen? Well, as you can see, it will automatically take you to practice mode whenever you open the app. So if I close the app like so, and then open the app back up, it'll open the calculator first. So this way, if you're performing and you have a part of your presentation that you want to use practice mode, it will automatically open, and you can just tap on the calculator icon to get it to open. Okay, let's talk about the Apple Watch app for Calculon. Now, we made a couple minor changes, like putting the name of the screen in the corner. So when you switch screens, it will show you the name of the screen in the corner. But the biggest change we made is we added a new entry mode that you can actually set the force number or the Alice reveal number from your watch. To get into that mode, all you have to do is press and hold the screen, and it'll show you this screen here. Now you just tap the number into the watch in order to set the number. So let's say we want to set the number 3471 as our force number. When you tap, you have to remember that the first number it uses is 0. So if we're going to put in the number 3, we have to tap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll feel the tap each time you tap your finger, so you know that it's tapping along with you. So for number 4, we have to put in 5 taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For number 7, we have to put in 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for number 1, we put in 2. So 1, 2, like that. Now, let's say we got a number wrong and we wanted to delete just the last digit. You could delete just the last digit by swiping left or right 1 time, and you'll vibrate a little bit when you go to swipe, so you know the swipe was registered. If you want to delete all the numbers, you just swipe twice and it will delete everything like so. Okay, so let's reset our number one more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the number 4, so we need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we need 7, so let's put in 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then last number is 7, so we need 2. So 1, 2. There we go. Now to commit this number to your phone, you just press and hold. And it will not only commit it as the force number, but it will set force active. So now all they have to do is press equals on their phone, and it will show this number on the screen. Well, that is everything. With that said, thanks for watching this video, and like I said earlier, if you have any questions, just email hello@thoughtcastmagic.com, and if you need any help, email support@thoughtcastmagic.com. I look forward to seeing all of you in 2023, so my name is Benjamin. Thanks again for watching, and have a happy holiday. Bye!